Hey everybody, welcome to the Great Horned Rat. The Great Horned Rat is a solo RPG playthrough of Tales of the Valiant in the world of Midgard, but as if anyone knows of the Age of Sigmar, which is a Warhammer game, tabletop game, like war game, yes, that's the one. Then you know that the Great Horned Rat is a Skaven or ratfolk god who has come to the realm of Sigmar, not to Sigmar, to the mortal realms. But that's not this game. This game is in Midgard. Let's see what that looks like. This is Midgard. This is what Midgard looks like. It's a huge world. It's really large. And I love the idea of the Great Horned Rat, and in that vein, I thought it'd be fun to play a rat person. So let's view. That's my rat person. That's my Skaven character. That's Quillie Ferko, the ranger. Anointed ranger, ratfolk soldier. And so, with these things in mind, I imagine him to be... I decided to base this game and start it in this little town of Kane, I think it's called. And last night, I popped open list for the Great Horned Rat. Yes, I popped open this. And I started using, let's see here, the Mythic Game Master emulator to sort of prep for this session, which I knew I wanted to do. And I've recorded some other solo RPGs. Obviously, the One Ring is the one I've done the most of. And I did some of Tales of the Valiant a while ago with a halfling character. But it didn't take. You know when you start something and you just are like, yeah, every single time I think about playing, it feels like work. If you have played solo RPGs, then I think you know how that works. That sometimes when you try to get into it, it just feels like it's a lot of work to like push through. And so I thought I'd give it another go with a new character. And I wanted my character to be Quillie Ferko, who I think has some interesting background. He is a favored disciple of the Great Horned Rat, and the fact that he is anointed by the Great Horned Rat, I think is really, really cool, and a sort of exciting idea for a solo character, that he is out to sort of... what's the word? Not prove himself or prove people wrong, but like he's been anointed by a god, and so he is going to go out to try to raise this god, the Great Horned Rat, so that the Skaven or the rat folk, as the case may be in this game, can take control of, well, at least make life better for Quillie and his family or his people. And so, with this in mind, I started some prep yesterday, and instead of getting into the lists and all those things, these are just the lists that I have, I'm going to be using both the Mythic GM emulator, 2nd edition, and I'm going to be using the Solo Adventures toolbox. It has a lot of great tables and things in here that I can use. And wilderness encounters and all types of things like that. But mostly I'm going to be using this Mythic GM emulator because frankly it's really good. I think it's really great, and I like the way that it sort of breaks things up. It breaks down the game into scenes and has sort of an order in which those scenes are created and then sort of wrapped up, and even a bookkeeping thing to use after you're done with the scene. So I think that works really well. Now, it has a whole part that I read yesterday about making the first scene and how that works. I'm not going to bore you with the particulars. As you can see, it's pretty involved. It took a while. I used the first scene strategies. I did random event. And so I did all these little things where they told me to like roll here and roll there. And this is what I got from it. My action for the random event was neglect. My descriptor was curiosity, or curiously. My elements was location, useful, character, familiar, and object, unusual. So then a big part of Mythic GM is to act on your initial thoughts. Like, don't second guess. Oh, well, I don't want that to happen, or I don't think that should happen, because if it does, it sort of plays into like what I want to have happen. But like, I'm the only one here. I mean, I guess there's you're watching. So in that sense, I'm not the only one here, but I'm the only one playing the game. So it's not like I'm cheating to be like, well, my initial thought is that this happens and therefore it should happen, right? So it says to imagine what these things evoke, right? So I imagine Quillie to be a curious person or rat, so that fulfills that descriptor and that action, right? Perhaps he gets into trouble because of his curiosity. Curiosity that killed the cat, killed the rat. Yeah, curiosity killed the rat. He is able to get into trouble due to some neglectful guardsmen. So those are the two things I wrote first. I was like, well, why does he get into trouble? I was like, the neglect thing. I was like, oh, guardsmen. There's like some guards. And then the location must be useful. I'm going to assume this means useful to Quillie and not to his enemies. So perhaps his swarm, I'm saying like his community, lives underneath Kane. Like in the sewers, which is sort of canon, you know, for rat folk. So he lives in the sewers, and there is some strange ritual taking place below the city. I'd say it's unusual to see Dragonborn down there. I name Dragonborn specifically because Kane, with the Book of Midgard, let's see here, pick a book. I can go to Midgard World Book. It has very specific things for... Oh, actually, I think I saved it in the journal. Oh yeah, here we go. For Kane. So, yeah. Home of Parthia's largest gold and copper mines, Kane is well defended by both humans and dragonkin, not dragonborn, because dragonborn are a Wizards of the Coast intellectual property. Dragonkin, definitely not. Without it, paying tribute to the Morati might be impossible. Fortunate, Gorda Farid is the city's governor and defender against the occasional Valdestani raid. But what he doesn't know, what Gorda Farid doesn't know, is that there is a secret, hidden threat below the streets of Kane. So that's where we're going to start. Is Quillie has been sent out, or maybe, you know what, I think he's just on patrol. He's a soldier and he's on patrol. Like that's one of the things. I think the rat folk, their mission is to remain secret. They steal and thieve and things, and take things from people they need, and that's how they get what they want. And he has been set on patrol because the sewers are a place that sometimes people come down there to clean out or to murder or throw a dead body or something like that, which I would say that the rat folk probably eat. Yeah, I think that sounds about right. And on this day, I think Quillie is on patrol. Now, I think the first question is anyone with him on patrol? Okay, so since I am trying to decide, is there someone patrolling with Quillie? I'm going to use the fate chart. So I'm going to say the chaos factor starts at 5 because it's just a neutral chaos factor, right? Which is, the chaos factor basically means there's like an extreme yes or extreme no with these small numbers. And then like anything below, let's say if I'm going to roll on this one, right? If anything rolls 65 or below, it's a yes. But if I roll below a 13, it's an extreme yes. So maybe I have a bunch of people with me. And if I roll above 65, it's a no. But if I roll above 64 or 94 or above, it's an extreme no. So, all right, this is what we're doing. Is anyone with Quillie? Right, I have my first question of my first scene. As Quillie is on patrol in the sewers of Kane, does he have anyone with him? That is my first question. So I need to roll a D100, and 65 or lower, it's a yes. So here's my D100. That's a 6. That is a 6. So that's not only a yes, it's like an extreme yes. Because remember here, I said if it's under 13, that's crazy. That's crazy. My first roll is an extreme yes. So, my thought. Let me find a map for this. I think we need a map. Okay, so to start out here, I've got Quillie and his troop of rat friends. And they're on patrol, and he even has a rat warlock with him. So they're on patrol. But since I rolled an extreme yes, they're not just on patrol. I'm going to change the whole idea. It's not just that he's on patrol and there's people with him. He's on a raid. He is on a raid because they know that something has come to their tunnels, and they're here to stomp it out and leave none. They seek to leave none alive, because they know the thing that is down here, what's happening, is evil, very evil. And Quillie and his people, despite common perception, they're not evil. Okay, so this is how this is going to work. Okay, so I'm thinking about and reading about how to start my scene. I'm not 100% sure how Mythic GM works. It's a lot, but it says here, before we dive into the scene, we have to check if your expectations happen using the chaos factor. And so it's roll a d10 and compare it to the current chaos factor value. If you roll above the CF, then the expected scene starts exactly how you thought it would. If you roll equal or to or less than the CF, then your expected scene changes in some way. So let's find out if it's the same. So I need to roll a 6 or higher. So it's a 50-50 chance. So let's see, D10, 6 or higher, that's an 8. So it does. It happens just as I'm thinking. And what I'm thinking is that this is like a raid, like a stealth raid. And so all these rats are like piling through because they've been sent by the swarm leader. Not sure who that is. Actually, I think I might have written it down somewhere. Here. No, not there. Here. The swarm leader. Raid King's Flight. Oh, Radrock. Swarm Elder. So we've been sent by the Swarm Elder, Radrock, to basically leave none alive in this, this like place, whatever this place is. But I don't actually know who is here at the moment. So Now I need to figure out what type of people are here. They're dragonkin, I think. Ooh, and thinking back on it, the one of the prompts I had for the first thing, it said neglectful. What's neglectful is that we captured one of the guards or one of the people here, and that's how we know that this is happening. This meeting is happening. Now, I think, I first thought that, oh, maybe this is an evil meeting and there's like a cult or something and they're trying to raise like some demons or something like that. But now I'm not so sure. Now that it's like a raid, I'm wondering that maybe it's like a den of thieves, or I'm not sure. I'm not sure exactly what it is. So I think I'm going to go take a look at the Solo Adventurer's Handbook. Alright, here's the dungeon encounters. So we're gonna just ask fate what is going to happen here, because I truly don't know. So we need a D100 again. I love all the D100s, it's a lot of fun. And we're just gonna see, it's an 89. So 89 is pretty far down there. Let's see. Oh, man, okay. You find a dimensional door into a forest, but you can't be sure if this wilderness is real or simply an illusion to lead you into even greater danger. I sort of hate it, but I still want to go with it because that is crazy. I'm going to have to think on this. 1 second. Okay, so I did some thinking, and this is what I came up with. So a pre-scene is that a troop of dragonkin stole. So instead of having the dragonkin not know about the ratfolk, they have been trying to maybe dislodge or get rid of these ratfolk in the sewers for some time, and they think that maybe if they can steal their sort of holy object, they could persuade them to leave for its return or some such. And they have stolen one of the horns that is fabled to be shed from the great horned rat itself. So I live in the forest, and I personally, Norris, lives in the forest, and sometimes you just wander around the woods and you find antlers from deer and things like that. Now, I know this is called the Great Horned Rat, not the Great Antlered Rat, but we're going to use it anyway. That they have the rats, the swarm has this huge horn that they say it's giant, and they say it's from the Great Horned Rat itself, and they sort of worship this thing. And the dragonkin have stolen it and are trying to escape. Quillie and the rest of his patrol are rushing to stop them and recover this thing. There we go. But just as... So I guess the question now is, like, do we succeed in catching them, right? Like, they rush down these... rush down around here, over here. I imagine that they're in here. I guess these are supposed to have, like, this must be like a secret door. There's no actual door, so we'll just pretend that there's a door. I'm gonna draw. Here's the door. That's the door. They've like barricaded it, maybe something like that. Yeah, cool. And the rats are rushing to take back this horn. Now, I think I have more questions. What else do I need to know about this situation? I'm not quite sure. Oh, I realized this is a door, and then this is a door. They're secret doors. So, that's the door. Okay, so I think the thing to do now is to ask, does Quillie and his band of raiders, not raiders, rescuers, I should say, are they able to catch up to those with the great horn of the great horned rat. Now, I think that like maybe this casting for this portal is in progress, and so I'm going to say it's likely for them to be able to catch up. So 65 or below is a yes. Let's see, are they able to catch up? 65 or below. Oh, so that is a yes. So they are able to catch up, and I think because the location is useful to Quillie, they know this place like the back of their hands. They've known that the Dragonborn, those who live on the top side is what they call it, the top side of the world. They know that they have this secret lair that they come down to, and maybe this is like a place where they have meetings. Maybe it's sometimes a place that clandestine whatever dealings happen here. Like even the leader of Cain comes down here to have meetings with maybe people that he wouldn't necessarily want to have to the palace or to the mansion, and so they know how to get in. They know where this is, so I don't think that's an issue. Now the real question I guess the real question is like, do they set a trap? Yeah, probably. They'd probably be well defended. So, excuse me. How does that work? Okay, so I decided to sort of subvert expectations here. And I imagine that this is like a heist. It's not necessarily by the Dragonborn. It's people have come to Cain, and they're like an adventuring party. These are the good guys. This is your party, listener. This is the party you've played in that had to go down into the sewers and steal something from the ratfolk. And this is the ratfolk's revenge, hopefully. We do outnumber them, but they're, they're ready. So as I think the troop of rats get ready to enter this thing, oh, here we go. Look at that nice piece of wood right there. Quillie is gonna use it. Oh, maybe they grab these pieces of wood as well and put them here, so to get across. This is the only way in or out. So it is not, and I think the door is shut because these people, they don't want to stay in here. They're trying to cast a portal or summon a portal. That's where the portal comes in from that encounter to get out of here. Now I'm going to say it's a ritual, and let's say it takes it's a ritual, so it needs to be uninterrupted, and it's takes 3 rounds to cast. 3 rounds? That's only a few seconds. Okay, I gotta check some rules here. Okay, so casting time takes 1 minute. So that's 10 rounds. So I'm gonna roll a D8. And depending on what it is, that's how many rounds they've already channeled to cast this spell. So a D8, a 5. So I have 5 rounds to interrupt this thing. I'm going to start combat here. So Quillie is going to need to roll initiative. Okay, good. At least it was decent. We're going to start. Oh, what? Start. Oh, pick encounter. None of the above. round one. Okay, one sec. Okay, so we've started combat here. We're in round one. It says round two. Oh, if I go finish, does that finish it? It does. I don't want to do any of that. So one player. Oh, interesting. No experience. Not a big deal. Okay, I'm just gonna. Oh no! It just got rid of everyone. Ay ay ay. That's not what I wanted. All right, I fixed it. I have 5 rounds. Everybody's back in the spot. The first person is Mage. The Mage, she is just channeling, so she has nothing else to do. I know it says Mage Apprentice. We're going to say she's a mage, and she knows how to channel this portal. Because I'm the only one playing, it doesn't matter. So then it goes to Quillie. Quillie is going to use his actions to his movement to move here. He's gonna put down those planks like this so that there's like actual walkway. Okay, and I think he tosses those down to make sure they're sturdy. The door is shut. Now I think he's gonna have to try to pick the lock, or force it. So force the door. Let's do that. Let's get up in here and force the door open with an athletics. Pretty good athletics. We'll say it's a DC. How do you determine these types of things? I wonder if there's something that I could read about that. I'm going to say that it's not going to be a hard DC. This is a game about fun, so I'm going to just say it's like a 10. Let's see. I got a 19 on my roll. Quillie is able to just put his shoulder into the door and blast it open. That is his action. I think at that point he is going to move back to here. And let's see, what does Quillie have in terms of weapons? I don't recall. He's got a couple daggers, a longbow. Definitely, he's fine with the daggers, I guess, for now. Oh, he will use his bonus action to Mystic Mark. Let's see, can I add condition? Mystic Mark. There we go. Mystic Mark that guy. And that is it for Quillie. Alright, the Warlock. What can he do? He has some spell casting, all types of things. Okay, lots of things that he can cast. Wow, he's got mage armor, poison spray, speak animal, darkness, hellish rebuke. What's that do? Free action, first level. Oh yeah, hold person. Ooh, he's gonna move to here. That's totally within his power, and he can see the mage. I don't know if that's actually worth it. So, is to hold person 1 each day. Blindness, deafness, darkness. What's darkness do? Ah, here we go. Magical darkness, yeah. Minor illusion, mage armor, dancing eldritch blast. Probably just casts the eldritch blast. And since it can see this character, it's got to cast it on them. So we'll cast the eldritch blast on that evil person. It's pretty good. 15 to hit. Now 15 to the. Oh, that definitely hits. Deals 10 damage. Oh, D10 damage for 1 damage, just 1. Eldritch Blast damage, 1 damage. That was pathetic, because they've got a lot of HP. That is that character's turn. Okay, the ratfolk, what are they good at? They've got a dagger, they've got a light crossbow. I think they need to get up in there. It's gonna move to here. Nimbleness. Oh, the ratfolk. Yeah, can move over. Okay, so it's just gonna attack with its this guy. Oh my gosh, that was terrible. Protection's parry. When a friendly creature, the guard... Oh, that's the guard. Guard can see within 5 feet. Oh, that's quite good. Underdark, Source, Beasts. Tactics, nimbleness. Okay, no. Okay, that's all. That's all for that rat. I think it's going to move to here, right in between them. Let's use the grid a little bit. Right in between them, which leaves it open to some attacks, but will also give the next one... Where is the next one? Oh, there. So that's 30... Wait, was that 30? From here to here? 24. 25, 30. Okay, perfect. So now, with the pack tactics, gonna get advantage with its daggers on this guy here. Whoops. So, dagger attack with advantage. There's 1 advantage. I love how that works. 15, 19 definitely hits the guard. So deals 4 piercing dagger damage. Alright, cool. Ooh, he's not looking good. Slashes into him. Let's see here. Who is next? Oh, this rat is gonna go here. And I think it's just going to shoot an arrow at this fellow with its crossbow. Oh, that definitely hits. Deals damage. 7 piercing. Oh, almost takes that guy down. He screams in pain. Yeah, that'll teach you to try to steal the great horn. I think this guy probably has the great horn and is like ready to jump into this portal. Last ratfolk, I think... Let's see, in terms of that, I think he can see there, so he's going to also shoot his crossbow. His light crossbow. Oh my gosh, gets such high damage and does 9 piercing damage on this guy. Oh, just slays him in 1 shot. I imagine that they're all freaking out now. We gotta get going, man. This isn't good. The bandit, he's gonna drop the horn. He's gotta come over here and take a swipe and try to keep them away from the mage who's casting. He's gonna go with his longsword. Oof. I think this is two-handed. A 9. That's not gonna do it. That's crazy. Okay. Wow. Okay. Okay. I think I'm gonna probably add a twist to twist it up a little bit, just to make this a little more exciting at the end of the round. So that's actually, I think, a really good practice at the end of each round, adding like an extra layer. The thief, not thrilled about getting shot by an arrow, I think is going to throw a dagger at this little guy here. So the dagger for a 14 to hit, which hits. 1d4 plus 3, that's 6 piercing. Takes 6 piercing, is hit and injured, but not dead. And that is this guard. He's gonna try to take this guy down. Let's see. With the spear. When a friendly creature the guard can see within 5 feet of the target, the guard can impose its weapon between the creature. That's quite good, but that's not what we're doing right now. So spear attack, melee or range to hit, 5 feet. It's better at throwing. Piercing damage used with 2 hands. This is definitely a 2-handed attack. Oof, that's gonna be a lot. And 7 damage to this poor furry guy here. Stabs into this little rat guy. Let's see. And that is the end of the round. Now, since it's the end of the round, I want to mix it up because I think this type of combat can get real stale, and I feel like rolling a bunch of dice to see who wins is less fun than having something more interesting happen. So with that in mind, I'm going to look at sort of the chaos factor and see what I can do here. Okay, I've decided I'm going to tweak the scene in a random way by rolling on this table. So I need a d10, and we're going to see what happens. 1d10. Here we go. That is an 8. So 7 through 10 is make 2 adjustments. That is not helpful. So I'm going to roll 2 more d10s and hope they do not come up like that again. And I'll re-roll either of them. They both do. Oh no. 6 and 10. I'm going to roll 1 more. So I got a 6 at least. And 7. Great. It's just rolling all of these really, really high. Another 10. That's so cool. That's so funny. 7 again. Oh my gosh. Okay, a 6 and a 5. That's what we're going to go with. So add an object, remove an object. Okay. Okay, oh yeah, that's really good actually. Okay, so I know what's going to happen. I don't know if an object's going to be added, but it's definitely the mage's turn. I think the mage sees the writing on the wall. The mage realizes that her adventuring party is not going to be able to stave off the fury of the rats, and she is going to grab the horn and run for it. So she is going to go this way. 16, that's 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, and then 45, 50, and then she's gone. I'm going to remove her from the map. Now, the rest of them obviously are going to run as well, but it's not their turn. This woman has taken the horn and skedaddled with it. It's Quillie's turn. He is going to... what's he going to do? He is going to... I think the longbow and attack... Oh, I guess I gotta go like that. This guy. So let's take that longbow attack. Yep. Longbow. You gotta drop those. Do that. Oof. That's a 20 to hit. 1d8 plus 3. He takes 7 damage. I think he's dead. Yes, he is. Gets hit in the neck with an arrow. Blood splatters the floor. The other rat, the warlock, goes again. Okay. Oh, shoot. That's a shame. Okay, he's going to Eldritch Blast the bandit. 14. Let's see, where's that bandit at? Oh, it's only 13, so that does deal the damage. Solid 8 damage. Wow, this bandit is pretty hardy. He still seems to be alright. And the ratfolk, this one is going to retreat and take the opportunity attack from the bandit, which might mean its end. Let's find out. Oh no, he misses again, my goodness. Okay, so he does not get killed. This rat is going to scurry back, injured. The other one, the next one will take its place and attack with its daggers to hit. That's not going to cut it. The next one will move up and do the same thing. I'm just sort of going in a line. That's definitely going to hit. 9 piercing. This guy. Why does it say... Oh, light crossbow. Oh, I think I rolled the wrong thing. Let's do that again. Gonna attack with this. Yes, there we go. Alright. 5 damage. This guy, he is looking injured pretty bad now. I already went with that guy. This guy I have not gone with. He can see. Yep, he can see. So he's going to take a shot with his crossbow to the bandit. He misses. It's the bandit's turn. He's going to run for it as well. Let's get out of here. There's no point. We can't take these guys. She left with the horn. And he's going to run. He's going to take an opportunity attack from both of those rats. So, dagger attacks, 2 of them. 1 hits for 5 more damage. He's down to 1 HP. He gets there's another opportunity attack incoming from the other rat. If it hits, he's dead. It does not hit. He escapes and is able to run up the steps and is gone. Let's see here. The basic thief is not near them, so he can just run for it as well. Very injured, and they are in the city, leaving the rest here. So, I think there's a bit of a dilemma here. Do we chase them into the streets? Is it daytime, I think, is the question. And I think this is a 50-50 question. Shoot, where's my... I need tables. Here we go. Is it daytime? We're just going to put it on 50-50 right in the center here, and roll a d100. Because if it's daytime, they're not going to go up there. They'll get attacked. Not only yes, but it's an extreme yes. So not only is it daytime, but it's actually like a festival. It's like a festival in. This is a copper and gold mining town or city. So maybe it's a holiday where everybody gets shit-faced drunk and paints themselves up in different colors like gold and copper, and just sort of parties. And there's music and dancing, and it is just a complete party. Now, they're not going to go up into that because there are guards, while most people, like the common folk, are all busy partying and in celebrating the wealth and the fruits of their labors. There are guards up there, and the rats, they survive by staying low and staying down. Quillie Ferko turns to his warlock sort of captain. Goes, they've taken the horn. What now? What now? And that is the question. What now? Okay, so I think now that's sort of the end of the scene. Like, the big things happened. Even though there wasn't any role-playing, it was all combat, there's some big things that happened, right? So the thing that I have to do is end of scene bookkeeping, add list elements. So over here in my log, I've got my lists. So thread lists, I had this idea of rating the supplies, but that didn't happen. So obviously, edit now, I need to recover the horn. Recover the horn of the rat. Horn of the rat. And I have all these ideas here for different NPCs and things. I think I'm going to delete some of these. I can always add more in later because I just ran those down as for funsies. I think Radrock might be that the warlock, the Ratkin warlock that was with us. And now I have an NPC who's an enemy. We'll say ally. And then these guys are, what's the name of the adventuring group? There's 3 of them. All right, I'm popping open the Game Master's guide for Tales of the Valiant because they have a whole section on factions. And I'm going to say that these 3 adventurers that stole the horn of the Great Horned Rat are part of a faction. This is not about joining factions. This is about hunting down a faction. So, how's that going to work? We are going to make a faction to be at odds with. So there are tiers of a faction. Tier 1 levels 1 through 4. This is a local organization with small scope. Examples of include a goblin gang, a town of council, or a local ranger lodge. Oof, okay. So tier 4s, they're like bigger and bigger. Let's see here. I think these are just 1 through 4, so we have that. That's not so hard. Alright, I named this faction Thrall's Rebuke. It is tiers 1 through 3. I'm using an example faction from the player or the GM's handbook. Okay, that's good. That looks pretty good so far. Oops, wrong book. There we go. Okay, so the values are boldness, community, discovery, exploration, growth, and healing. I imagine Thrall's Rebuke is like sort of a druid mage organization that is led by someone named Thrall, or maybe was founded by someone named Thrall, and their whole thing is basically maintaining balance within the world. And when they mean balance, they mean that basically, I just had a thought that the natural world is the only true natural, like forest, greenery, you know, that old hat, the druid playbook of being like, I'm a good druid because I'm going to make sure that, you know, humans or whoever doesn't destroy the land. And I think that actually ties in really well with the fact that they didn't ask for help from the local guards, because the local guards are, you know, they're protecting mining, and a mining organization that is basically destroying the land for gold and copper. maybe polluting a lot as well. So, next bit. Okay, so I just finished up this this faction. They're called Thrall's Rebuke. Tiers 1 through 3: boldness, community discovery, exploration, growth, healing. Goals: prevent sickness and disease, prevent pollution and desecration of nature. Motto: the rain cleanses all filth. That's sort of like their greeting. The rain cleanses all filth, brother. Leadership, I said TBD, but I actually wrote it out later. Thrall's Rebuke has many nature-focused spellcasters, many constructs of summoned nature. Thrall is a powerful fae. I just made that up on the spot. So Thrall themselves is a powerful fae. The Adventure Hook, they have stolen the great horn of the rat. That all makes sense to me. So, let's take a look back at here. We are doing the bookkeeping. So, we did that. Remove threads and NPCs that are no longer relevant to the adventure. Did that. Adjust the chaos factor. I think the chaos factor goes up. So, let's go back to here. I didn't write down the chaos factor, but let's keep a note of it here. We're just going to call it the running chaos factor. And I think for the chaos factor, I'm going to roll. Did the player... Oh, here we go. Did the player characters mostly control the scene? Because they got away and ran with the horn, I'm going to say no. Chaos factor +1 to a maximum of CS9. Yeah. So we're at a chaos factor of 6. Yeah. Chaos factor 6. Good. And not... Okay. Scenes... Removing element lists, did that. Adjusting the chaos factor, we did that. The big scene example, Guardian of the Chosen One. Okay, well, and then that's it. So random chaos, So then I'd go back to expected scenes. Mythic Adventure. So now, Mythic Adventures move fluidly from scene to scene next, with each scene adding detail. Every choice you make. When a scene comes to an end, the first thing you do before beginning the next one is decide how you think it'll start. Okay. I don't want to get into a whole new chase scene or what they're going to do next, but I definitely think they come into this space, they root around. This one gets some healing perhaps by one of its friends. Quillie is going to try to figure out... Yeah, like, I don't think Quillie knows. I don't think any of these people know. Radrock, they don't know who stole the horn. So they're going to have to ransack this place in order to find it. So... That's an investigation check. It's not great. Since I have so many people checking, I'm going to get advantage on that. So that's a 6. We need at least, I was going to say at least a 15. That's not really going to do it. What do I have here? What other things? Fable, discipline. Yep. Yep. Venturing motivation. Okay. Fortunately... Oh, there's notes down here. I don't need to keep on going back to the log. I'm totally gonna edit. I'm gonna grab all this. That's cool. I can just use my character sheet for my notes. So adventure title, the stolen horn, session 1, location, Cane Sewers. So I think Roderick, Quillie Ferko's, Quillie's Warlock Elder. I mean, they've got to find it, right? They've got to. He's being given a quest. And this is why he's given the quest, is because he's the anointed one, anointed by the great horned rat upon your birth, Quillie. It is up to you to retrieve its horn and return it to its rightful place among us. And then, and only then, may the great horned rat return to serve us and lead us to freedom. So I think Quillie now, he's been given the right to go out and do this, and try to get the horn back. But it's sort of like a quest to himself, and I think Roderick says this and knows that this is the only way. Like, Quillie is the anointed of the god itself, and to that end, he's the one that needs to do this. So, Quillie bows his head and goes,
Yes. I have waited for so long. When I was just a little ratling, I was told I had those visions, and the visions, they said time would come where I would be needed to fulfill a great destiny. Yes.
And the warlock says,
That is right. This is your destiny. Long in coming, yet not so long, and come too soon, I suppose. But Quillie, if you cannot find a way, no one will.
And
Quillie goes, yes, I will find the way. I will find a way to bring it back, and perhaps with it, the great horned rat itself.
So I think that's where we're gonna end. So Quillie had dreams that he would be sort of like the savior of his people, because this is, basically Dungeons and Dragons. That's what Dungeons and Dragons is about. This is his moment. And Roderick sends Quillie on a solitary adventure to gain back the horn of the great rat. That's the end. End session. Boom. There we go. Interesting. It's always a challenge when you first start. Like, starting a adventure is always the hardest part. I really do like the scene progression of, like, what's the scene, how do we go from here, these things. So, like, I could fast forward, I could change it up, but next time I'll have to just sort of wait and see what I want to do next time I play. This wasn't easy. I'm definitely better at playing the One Ring. I think it's really interesting to try different systems out. And I don't know, I'm trying to find a way of spicing up combat, because rolling so many dice against myself again and again, that doesn't quite do it for me, if you know what I mean. It's just like, it feels weird to constantly be doing that. So, it doesn't feel very tense. It feels yeah, and maybe that's just because it was really quite easy combat. Easy, but even though we basically lost, killed 2 of their guys and didn't lose any and still lost the battle. But there's definitely systems. I guess the One Ring is pretty dull with combat as well when I play by myself. So that's not necessarily true. It's a lot of rolling against myself. So maybe it's not that big a deal. I don't know. We'll try again. I'd like to figure out some interesting ways to have a battle without it being just dice rolls against AC constantly, but maybe more like doing some contested rolls that basically just sum up the whole fight without it being a back and forth and whatnot, because I think that gets pretty dull. So, I don't know. We'll see. Anyways, thanks for hanging out this long and watching. My name is Nors. I've been using Tales of the Valiant by Kobold Press. Very similar to 5e. And this tabletop is Shard, which is my favorite VTT for anything that's 5e. It is a VTT only for 5e games. It doesn't try to do everything. It just tries to do this one thing better than any other VTT. There's no doubt about that. It does things a bit differently than a lot of others, but I highly recommend it. I am kicking off an Eberron campaign this Sunday, which I'm really excited about. I have 5 players that I'm excited to meet. They're just internet strangers. I like playing so much that I enjoy playing with internet strangers. I think it's fun. I like meeting new people that way, and I'm excited to kick off a new game in Eberron. Eberron is such a great world. If you don't know it, I highly recommend that you go check it out. But until then, until later, until my next post, I don't know when I'll be able to play again or when I'll want to. So until then, take care. Maybe this will stick, maybe it won't. I don't know. I'm not going to promise sessions on this. But I hope this was at least informative of how I worked through it. The thing is, if I play more, I get better at it. Like, I'm really good at playing the One Ring now because I've played it enough. And if I did this, once every couple weeks, I'm sure I'd get better at it and it would flow a little bit better. My role playing with myself would get better, all those things. So maybe that's just the thing I got to do, is just like keep it up and that. So anyways, if you didn't know, there is a Kickstarter right now by Kobold Press for a new tabletop role-playing game called Riverbank. It's by an amazing author named Kij Johnson, K-I-J, Kij Johnson, who wrote one of my favorite short stories and collection of short stories ever called, the short story that I love so much is called At the Mouth of the River of Bees, and that's the name of her collection of short stories as well. She also has some novels, I think, out there, or novellas at the very least, but she is a fantastic writer, and Riverbank looks like a fun, sort of whimsical animal tabletop role-playing game. A game of whimsy and intrigue. It looks like a low-stakes type of game, but quite fun and silly. So it's on Kickstarter now. It's called Riverbank by Kobold Press. Check it out. And until next time. Just so you know, Kobold Press does not sponsor anything that I'm doing here. They do not endorse this at all. They probably think this is a waste of my time. But I think they're just a great publisher. So if you feel the same, check out their new Kickstarter. Alright, until next time, this is Nors and the Great Horned Rat, and I'll see you later.